So hey, let's talk about Hell in a Cell Take 56. Yeah, I've kept trying to shoot these and I end up rambling and stutter and stuff, so let's hope this one's the real take. I went to Hell in a Cell tonight and I thought to myself, this show's not that bad. It was very predictable, like a lot of people are saying on forums and websites, but I enjoyed it. I think when you go to a WWE event live, you're more likely to enjoy it than if you sit and steal on Justin TV or watch it on pay-per-view. Maybe it's the aspect of being there live, but overall I had a good time. I thought to myself, one thing I see is a common complaint, I thought to myself after seeing this common complaint, I guess I should say, did people watch SmackDown? I mean, look, I get if you don't like the idea of Sin Cara fighting himself, Sin Cara versus Sin Cara, but they explained what the hell was going on. Okay, Sin Cara number 1, Mystico. Sin Cara number 2, Hunico. Sin Cara came to the ring to fight Heath Slater. He squashed Heath Slater. Hunico gets on the Titantron post-match to explain what the hell's going on. At one time, Hunico in Mexico, debuted as Mystico. But at the same time, Sin Cara number 1 also debuted in Mexico as Mystico. He became the more popular Mystico, and now Hunico has come back to the WWE to steal the Sin Cara name because Mystico originally stole the Mystico name from Hunico. That's a mouthful. But it makes sense. Unlike things like Kane vs. Kane or Undertaker vs. Undertaker. Now I can see why someone would think it's stupid or confusing, but it's not nearly as bad as other wrestlers vs. wrestlers storylines. Overall, that was my favorite match of the night, but I'm a Lucha Libre mark, so yeah. I don't get why anyone was chanting boring. It's the same sort of offense Ray does when Ray was good. But yeah, Christian vs. Sheamus, going on to another thing, was probably my second favorite match of the night. I think Sheamus is pretty damn impressive for a guy his size. They need to get the IC, put him in a feud with Cody Rhodes or something. He's pretty awesome. The two cell matches, let's go with the first one, Mark Henry versus Orton. That didn't need to be in a Hell in a Cell. I'm sorry. Their feud is not that long or whatever, and they need to... A cage match, this is my problem with WWE's gimmick pay-per-views in general. A lot of these matches need to be at an end of a feud, not just thrown in the middle of a feud. Things like a ladder match need to be a feud decider. A cage match needs to decide a feud, not just thrown in there to sell tickets. It's almost like what Vince Russo does by putting a cage match and then a ladder match on the same show. It just doesn't do it for me. When you have a Hell in a Cell, you should have blood hatred, two rivals who hate each other that much that they want to go to war with each other. And I'm sure many of you agree. But I thought that Orton and Henry didn't need this cage match. I thought it limited them more than it helped them. But I thought Henry was awesome. I don't think the match was that great. It picked up towards the end, but overall, I was thinking this match was boring at the start. But it really got me at the end. I thought, yeah, this is good. But I want to talk about the post-match. They should have let Henry kill Orton. And they should let... I thought when Henry was running away and Orton had the chair that's not a monster. Henry needed to... I guess he didn't really need to kill Orton. But he needed to just... I feel that the monster needs to destroy the good guy at some point. And make people believe, well, shit, if he can't do it, then who can? But overall, I think they're doing well with Henry, and they remember how to book a monster. I'm glad Alberto Del Rio won. Color me shocked. I thought Super Cena would retain, especially after Mark Henry retained. That was a really good cage match. Fun fact: Cena left first and Punk left last after the match. So the show ended with CM Punk in Cult of Personality. What a night. The dark match was JTG and Daniel Bryan. Good to see Bryan wrestle in public. Well, in person. They had a decent 9 to 10 minute match before the show began. And, yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about Hell in a Cell. Overall, it was a fun show to attend live. I think in the grand scheme of things, that's what I want when I go to a wrestling match or a wrestling event. I want to see something and get my money's worth. Thought overall, I did. Oh, one more thing. You see this? I have this little radio they sell, and mine is for when I go to New Orleans Saints games. And it's about $15, and you can listen to our local radio announcers here in New Orleans. And they sell them for WWE events now, and once the event's over, you can listen to it. You can use yours as an FM radio, which is pretty neat. So my younger brother bought one, and during the Divas match, I asked if I could use it, because he didn't care, he wasn't paying attention. And he said, sure, so I put it on, and I thought to myself, this is the most awkward commentating team I've ever heard. I haven't rewatched the pay-per-view yet, and I'm about to on Justin TV, or YouTube, and I thought, if the whole commentary tonight is like this, I feel sorry for whoever paid for this pay-per-view. Because it was just, there were awkward pauses, there were things that made no sense, they just rambled on about other things that weren't the match. It was some of the worst commentary I've ever heard as a professional wrestling fan. But overall, I thought the little radio was a neat way to change your experience at a WWE event. And I would probably say it's worth the $15 if you go alone or you just want to listen to the event. That about wraps up my pay-per-view thoughts. I thought it was a fun show. I'm glad I got my money's worth, I guess I could say. There's not much I would hate more than to have paid for that event, or I guess paid for it and hate the show. But yeah, I'll see you next week when I start Horror Mania 1. See you later.